Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really sorry for this on and off kind of thing that I'm doing. I'm really trying to post regularly, but it does get hard. But I'm on that now. Rather post every week and then we work on consistency from there. Okay, so today I'm doing a video that I think that would be useful, especially for the new moms. I'm sorry the ring light is reflecting in my glasses. There's nothing I can do. I've tried different positions. It's just not working out. But yeah. So I'm going to be taking you through my breast pumping routine that I did while I was still breastfeeding. My last born is 7 months now. Our breastfeeding journey has ended because I was working mostly. So I'm sad about that, but I know that our pumping regime really worked wonders. I was exclusively pumping due to just wanting a bit more free time and for my mental health, and it really worked for me. So today I'm going to bring you all the different things that I did that worked for me and hopefully will work for the new moms. Okay, and yeah guys, let's stay tuned and let's get started. So once again, I have my diary where I've written everything down just so I don't lose track, and I have kind of a plan in what I am saying. So why I started exclusively pumping, I was really struggling with latching. It's weird. You'd think after 3 kids you would get the whole breastfeeding thing, you know, up to standard or whatever. I really wasn't. In hospital it was perfect. I exclusively breastfed my baby easily. I saw the lactation specialist. She helped me and everything was good. Got home within the first week. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I was exhausted, not putting in as much effort, or I had enough time because my other kids were around and I was distracted. I was just getting the latch incorrectly. I wasn't getting the latch correct. So then I decided, instead of waiting until my nipples were cracked and a total mess, let me move on to something that I knew I would be able to do. And I was gifted with an electronic breast pump from a friend of mine. I'll show that later. And I was like, you know what, it's way nicer and quicker and more convenient than the manual pumps that I've used in the past. And I thought, let me go that route. Also, I just, yeah, like I said, I really wanted more support this time around because I knew how taxing it can be to breastfeed while having a toddler. This time I had a baby and 2 toddlers, so I knew that I really needed the time and the support from my husband, and exclusively pumping was just the best route for me. Okay, and then next, my pumping kit, what it consisted of. So like I said, I was gifted with an electric breast pump. I used the Snookums one, this baby, simple single breast pump that worked for me. I had nipple cream. I like the Lansno one, as well as the what is it? I'll insert a picture of it. I can't think of it now. I don't know why. It's gonna irritate me, but it'll come back. As well as breast milk storage cups, breast milk storage bags, and a marker, and a breast milk tracker. So there's an app that I would use to track how much breast milk that I would pump every single time. Some people can write it down. For me, it was just a great way to motivate myself and see how I was getting better every day by tracking it, and also tracking the amount of time I was pumping on each boob. Okay, and then now I'm gonna move on to my pumping routine. Okay, so how I started, I didn't know how to really transition from exclusively breastfeeding into pumping. So what I would do is, I knew more or less around day 5 or day 6. I know it's really early to start pumping, but it is what it is. I started then and it worked for me. I already knew more or less the times that my daughter Sorry about that, lighting change, it just went out. But anyways, at that stage I already knew the times that my daughter would breastfeed, so it made it easier. So what I do is about 40 minutes before she was to feed, I would do 20 minutes on the right, 20 minutes on the left. So by the time she woke up, I had a bottle to give her. And of course I started off small. Guys, it is so little, especially when you're still producing that rich, thick yellow milk. It really is not that much. But because it's so thick and so nutritious, it actually is able to keep your baby fuller, more than what you would think. And so I really started off really on the minimum when it comes to the amount of milk that I was pumping. And also I remember I got so impatient. I think the first time I got to 15 minutes and I was like, I'm out. It's enough pumping now. I can you know, move on to the next boob. And so my husband was still home with me on paternity leave. So I knew that I needed to get this routine done before he went back to work. And they only get 10 days. So already I started late on day 5 or 6. And I knew that I only had a few more days for him there. So I really was forced to start a proper routine. And so that's when I started the whole 40 minutes before her feeds. And from there I got a routine where I'd pump about 30 to 40 minutes before she feeds, feed her, or pump after I feed her, because now I was creating a supply. Also, I would document every single pump output that I had. If I got 5 mils on each boob, I would write 5 mils on each boob. And the next time I do a next session, if I got 6 mils on each boob, I wrote that down. And guys, know how motivating it is to go from 5 mils to like 15 mils? Then you're like, oh my gosh! I remember I would take a picture, send to my sister and be like, oh my gosh, look what I produced now, look how much, you know. To her it probably was like, okay, I mean, that's what you're supposed to be doing. But it excited me, and the more output I was able to get out of every pump session, the more motivated I was to keep going. And so one thing I can tell you about pumping is that it really needs consistency and it needs a routine, so that you help your body know that at this time boobs are full, ready to go. So it happened that I decided to do the whole 3 hours. Every 3 hours I set an alarm, the alarm goes off and I pump. If it so happens that my baby's awake during that time and she needs to feed, I'd feed her still, let her be fine, let her be chilled, and then pump. The nice thing is that in a matter of a week, guys, I already was pumping up to 100 mils each boob, and then up to 200 mils each boob. The supply that I had was way more than what she was taking in, so I was able to get proper storage of breast milk within my first 2 weeks of doing that. So it was so much easier, and it just made the whole pumping thing much less strenuous and stressful, because then even if the 3 hour mark did come and my alarm went off and my baby was feeding or she needed to be put to sleep, I still was okay in being 10 to 20 minutes later for my pump, because I have enough supply. And of course I'm alone with baby now, husband is at work. I didn't need a helping hand as per se. I could pump and have my baby at the same time with everything else. So that worked. And then okay, so let me show you what I did with the pump. So my pump looks like this. Let's do the on button. There we go. So this is what we call the let down phase, right? It's short, it's sharp, it's quick, and it goes on for about 2 minutes, right? So I allowed my pump to go through that let down phase for 2 minutes when I pump, right? And then after the 2 minutes has gone, then it would go into that pumping. So now at this stage, that's when baby usually is, the milk has come down, the letdown has come, now baby's sucking that milk out. So the nice thing is that I really liked that level, and obviously there's different levels on the pump as well. I really liked that letdown. I learned from someone that in order to trick your body into really thinking baby's on there, that letdown is important, because when they start off quite aggressively, and then once the milk has come down, then they start the slow pull, steady pull. So I would do that, and then in order to increase my supply, what I did is after 10 minutes I would go back into the let down phase for another 2 minutes, and then pump again for the remainder of the 8 minutes, so that my body would start, you know, have a letdown twice as per se. That really, guys, that did wonders for my supply. Allowing 2 letdown phases during a pump is just what really changed the game for me when it come to pumping output, and that's basically what I did. So first 2 minutes letdown phase, the rest of the 8 minutes a full-on level according to what you can handle on the pump. I know my level, I think mine's go up to level 9, I'm not sure, I don't know how many levels, but level 2 was the perfect one for me. And then once it gets to 10 minutes, because the timer is on there, again another 2 minutes of the letdown phase, and then 8 minutes again. Done with that boob, and then on to the next one. So that's what I did. And of course, sustaining my milk supply, what I did is ginger beer. I had a ginger beer every day. Not ginger beer, not Stony, not shop bought. Proper homemade ginger beer. You know, mama by the taxis, ginger beer, those ones. My husband, we had a lady who literally did orders with her. She would give us a week's supply of ginger beer for me. We'd keep the empties that the bottles of, you know, water that you drink from, yeah, those bottles should tell us to please bring. If we're buying 12, we bring her 12 bottles so she can give us 12 ginger beers, so she has containers to make the ginger beers in. So we had that arrangement with her, and it worked perfectly. Homemade ginger beer, best for me. I've used Stony in the past, I've used all kinds of weird ginger beer stuff I bought in store. Homemade worked for me. And of course 2 to 3 liters of water daily. Guys, I was very consistent with how much water I drank, because the more water I drank, the more output I had in terms of milk supply. So yeah guys, that's what worked for me. So yeah guys, that's my input on my pumping journey. That worked perfectly for me. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, or if you feel like I've left anything out in the comments, please let me know. Please excuse my ghetto lighting that just changed over time. But yeah, like I said, I'm really trying to consistently give you guys videos every week. So yeah, I hope everyone has a great week, and we'll see each other again next week, guys. Okay, let me know if you have any suggestions on videos that you also want me to put up in terms of helping with, you know, being a mom, newborns, and things like that. Also do have a schedule of videos that I have that I'm shooting. So, but if you do have a suggestion that you want personally, let me know in the comments. I'll do that for you, okay? But anyways, we'll see each other again next week. Thank you for the support. Bye.